Hey everyone, this is Munam from WP Swings and welcome all of you to our channel of WP Swings where we discuss WordPress and WooCommerce solutions that can help you grow your online business, which will ultimately assist you to provide a top-notch user experience and customer satisfaction. Hence, stay tuned to our channel to keep getting back-to-back product tutorials and interesting updates. Today's demo video is about the WooCommerce colors and switches for variations plugin, in which I will demonstrate the working of the plugin. Before starting with the setup part, let me give you a short introduction to the product. If a customer or a user visits any WooCommerce store and sees a simple product with no variations, it becomes difficult for them to make buying decisions, and chances are more they will switch from your shop page. What if they can see product variations as text, images or colors so that they can take decisions effectively based on their preferences? Yes, introducing WooCommerce colors and switches for variations plugin. What is WooCommerce colors and switches for variation plugin? WooCommerce Colors and Switches for Variations is a plugin that will help you to create the variations for your variable products and showcase your variations of products with the help of images, text switches on the shop page that greatly helps the customer to get the idea of the product, thus leading to improving the buying decision of the customer. This was all about the product's overview and what problem does it solve. Now it's time to see its setup and working part. Let's understand how to start working with the plugin. We are on the shop page, and as you can see that, and you also must be getting the idea that with this plugin how easily you can organize your product and show variations to your customers so that they can get the clear picture of the product and they can select different variations for that particular product. So let's go to the backend setting and see how to set up WooCommerce colors and switches for variations plugin. We are on the WordPress dashboard, and as you can see that we have installed and activated the plugin. So you can get the plugin by visiting the link in the description content, or you can also visit the Envato Market and you can get the plugin WooCommerce colors and switches for variations, as you can see that here. So for installing the plugin, you have to go to the plugins and you can click on add new, and here you can upload the plugin, the zip file that you have got. So here you can choose that file and you can click on install now, and then the option will be coming for activating the plugin, and you can activate the plugin. So this is how you can install the plugin easily. So now let's again go back to the backend settings. We are on the backend settings of WooCommerce colors and switches for variation plugin. So here there are two tabs, that are global settings and next is import and export tab. So firstly I'm going to explain you about the global settings. So the very first functionality is enable the switches. So from here the admin can click on this toggle button and the switches functionality will be enabled on his shop page. Next is if he wants to show the switches on the shop, archive and category page, and if he wants to add the variation button for the customer so that the customers can show or hide the variation switches according to their requirements. Like if they don't want to see the variation, so simply they can hide that particular variation. So simply the admin can click on this toggle button to display the show or hide the variation button, and if he wants to show the switches in shop, archive and category pages, so simply he can click on this. Next, whatever the attribute thumbnails that admin has created from the backend, so I will explain you after explaining this global settings. So I will explain you about the attribute term thumbnails in detail. So if the admin wants to show the attribute term thumbnails, so simply he can click on this toggle button, so the attribute term thumbnails will be used. Next, if he wants to show the attribute term label like small, medium, large, so these are the labels for the attributes. So if he wants to show that label, so simply he can click on this toggle button, so the attribute terms label will be visible on the switches. Next is display border on the selected switch. So what does this mean? This means as soon as the admin will click on this toggle button, so a border will be displayed on the particular switch. Like whenever customer will click on any switch, so a border will appear like whichever the switch is selected. So this functionality can be enabled by clicking on this toggle button. Next is variation featured image. So if the admin wants to use the variation featured image, like while creating the variations for a product, like whatever the image has been selected from that, so that image will be used for for that particular product, like for that switches. Like if I will enable this and click on save changes, and when I will go to shop page and let me refresh this, and as you can see that this button is coming because from the backend we have enabled this functionality to display the show variation button and hide switches. So this is because this is coming here, like show variation. Customer can click on this, or if he wants to hide the variation, so simply he can hide. So as you can see that, next, as you can see that whenever the customer will click on this, a border is coming. This is because from the backend we have enabled the border functionality. And as you can see that the images are coming because we have enabled the functionality to show the variation featured image. Like whenever while creating this product, whatever the featured image you have used in the variations, so that variation image will be appearing here. Next, let us again go back to the backend. So we are on the backend, and as you can see that attribute term label is tooltip. So we have provided more two options, like above switches or over switches. Like if I will click on above switches and let me click on save changes, and let me go to the shop page. So as you can see that the label is coming above the switches, because from the backend we have attribute term label, we have selected above switches. And as you can see that labels are available because from the backend we have selected to show the attribute term label, so that's why it is coming. Like if we disable this and click on save changes and let's refresh this, so as you can see that the labels are not available because from the backend we have disabled it. So we have provided these options that you can configure and enable various functionalities according to your store requirements and customer needs, and you can use these functionalities to enhance your customer experience, and that will ultimately help you to increase your sales and customer experience. So let's again go back to the backend settings. And as you can see that you can also customize the thumbnail display type and thumbnail display size for the product detail page, and you can also select for the attribute term thumbnail display type for shop, archive and category pages. So here it is, for now it is 60x60 and 60x60, and the display type is selected as square. And if you will change that particular term thumbnail display type or display size, so it will not be reflected on the shop page, because if you will not enable this use global size everywhere, so whatever the thumbnail display type or display size for that particular product is selected from the backend, like in the product section, so that display type and display size will be reflected on the shop page. As you can see that here it is showing different size for for this and this, it is showing square and circle. But if you will enable this use global size everywhere, and if you have selected square and click on save changes, and you have clicked on save changes, and when you will go to shop page and when you will refresh this, so as you can see that it is showing the global size square and 16x60 pixels everywhere. As you can see that despite of using making the changes in the product section, if this functionality is enabled, so whatever the changes are made here, so that will be reflected on the shop page. And for attribute settings, you can click here, and here you can create the particular attributes as per your requirements. And here if you will click on color and configure terms, so here these are the attribute term thumbnails. So these are the thumbnails that you can create from here. Here you can add new color, and particularly you can decide the image for that particular color. So this is how you can create the product attribute term thumbnails. So let's again go back to the backend settings. So this was all about the global settings tab, in which you can enable the switches or customize your variation switches as per your requirements. Now let us see how you can easily create your variation switches of your products. So for creating variation switches for the products, you have to hover on products and you have to click on all products, and then you have to click on edit. So let's select any of the product and let's click on edit. So we are on the product edit section tab. So let's scroll down. So here firstly, for creating any variation switches, firstly you have to select the type of product as variable product. Then you will be getting the attributes and variation tab. So when you will click on variations, so here you will get a attached attach doc for creating the how you can easily create variations and attributes. You can go through this doc for creating the variations and attributes, so you can easily create attributes and variations. So once you have created the variations, as you can see that here are all the variations and here are the attributes for the color and here for the size. Now you have to go to the variation switches, and here from here you can disable the switches also, and you can also customize the variation switches as per your requirements. Like here, if you want to change the label name as color, if you want to change the label name, you can also change that. And like if I've selected, like let me write label, and here I have selected the display type as image, color or text. You can also select default. So I have selected image, color and text, and I have selected the display size as 20 into 20 and square. So like if I've whatever the settings I have done for the display size, and from the backend, if this functionality is enabled, like use global size everywhere, so whatever the settings made here like for the display size will not work, and once the functionality is disabled, use global size everywhere, so this display size will be displayed on the shop page. Next, if you want to change, like for the black, like I want to change the display type as color, so I will select here color black, and for the green I will select the color as green, and then I will click on update. Once you have updated this, so make sure you have disabled this functionality, because if this functionality is enabled, so variation featured image will be shown irrespective of the settings changed from the backend. Like let me click on save changes. So let's view the product. So as you can see that here it is coming black and green. So this is how you can easily customize your variation searches. So let's again click on edit, and let's scroll down, and let us click on variation searches, and let's click on color. So here you can select, like for the black, if you want to change like for the image, or if you want text, if you want to write the text, you can also write the text here. So I am selecting for now image, and I will select the image. I am selecting this green, and I will click on select, and let's like I have selected this green, let me change it for black. I have selected this black, and for green let me select also image, and let me click on this, and let me select green t-shirt. So I have selected this green, and let me click on select. So I have selected the image as this. So you can also do for size also, like here you can change the display type, display size and display name. Like let me from the backend disable this. For this, like I have selected like a rectangle and 40 into 40, let's change it to 60 into 60. And if you want to change like for the large, if you want to select like image, text, color, so you can also do the same for this. So you and for the small you can also select this. So this is how you can easily customize your variation switches for any particular product. So let me change one more thing. For the color, I want to change the label as color, and let me click on update. So let's view the product. So as you can see that the label is coming as color, and as you can see that the size that we have selected, like for the black and green, this is coming small, because from the back end, if you will see for the variation switches, for the color, the pixel size is 20 into 20, and from the backend we have disabled to use the global size, and for this we have used 60 into 60. So as you can see that the thumbnail size is coming here as this. So if you want to change this, like if you want to change the image also, so you can select this, and you can select like large, and you can select this, and for the small you can select you can select small and select this, and you can click on update. And when you will refresh this, so as you can see that the image that you have decided is coming here. So this is how you can easily customize or create variation switches for your particular product. And if you want like for the global size everywhere, so you can enable this. And if you want to use a variation featured image, so whatever the variation image that featured image that has been used in the variation, that will be shown. So now let's go to shop page, and as you can see that as we have enabled the functionality of variation featured image, so variation featured, so the images that has been used in the variations is coming here. So this is because we have enabled the functionality of using the variation featured image. So this was all about how you can create variation switches for the particular product, and how you can configure various settings or customizations related to the switches as per your needs and customer requirements. So this plugin can greatly help you to enable the switches and organize your product and show the variation to the customer, so that the customer can get the complete idea of the product. So now let's move to next tab, that is import and export tab. So we are on the import and export tab. So with this WooCommerce colors and switches for variation plugin, we have provided this functionality so that you can easily import or export the attributes, and you can edit the CSV file by entering the various display type LED values that are 0, 1, 2 and 3, and you can edit and you can import or export the attributes by clicking the choose file. If you want to import the attributes, so simply you can choose the file and you can export the CSV file here. So here you can easily import or export the attributes. So this was all about the import and export tab, and this was all about the WooCommerce colors and switches for variation plugin. If you have any queries regarding the plugin functionalities, so you can mention your queries in the comment section and we will be glad to help you. And if you are new to our channel, make sure to subscribe to our channel and like and share the video. Until the next video, stay connected with us. Thank you.